Hi all, so welcome back to this channel, and in this video session I'll be discussing read API in RPGLE. So basically this is in C API, and I would be using the C API in RPG program to read the bytes from the stream file present on the IFS in IBM. So this API is just opposite to the write API. So using write API, C write API, we'll be writing the data into the IFS stream file in the form of bytes, uh, and using read, we'll be reading the data back to the RPG program using the read API, that's in the form of bytes, and that's from the stream file. So if you see the prototype of this read API is int read, that it returns an integer and it accepts three parameters which are mandatory. First parameter is file descriptor. So file descriptor tells which file to be read. So if a file gets opened, a file descriptor gets assigned to this to that file which is being opened. So once we call open API, we will be receiving a descriptor for that file, and then we pass that descriptor to this read API, and here comes the address or the pointer to the data which we want to read, and this is the size number of bytes we want to read. So it returns actual number of bytes being uh, read from the data from the IFS file, that's a stream file. So about open API, you can check my this video opening and creating IFS files using C API open in RPGLE AS400. So here you will be getting each and everything about uh, opening and creating IFS file. And now let me show you the demo here for the read API. So you can see I'm reusing the prototype for the open API and the flags which were being used in my previous video to demonstrate the open. You can watch that, and these are all the flags which are used with the open API, and now we'll be using these two variables or global variables with the read API. So let me tell you a brief intro for the open first, so that and then we'll move towards the read. Open will accept the IFS path which includes the file as well, and it will tell in which mode you will be opening the file, that is the mode of the file being opened: read only, write only, read write, if you want to create that file. So when we are writing the data, we will be passing the create file if not exist as well, and then we passing either this or this at that time. After that once if we are creating the file, so what we'll be doing, we'll passing the mode. So mode is basically the authorities which we are providing. So you can see it's an authority to the owner, group, or the other users, group users or other users, and a class the code page, that is the CSS ID in which you want to create the file. Now it this API will return a descriptor, that's an integer, and that tells that this file is being opened. So if you are opening multiple file, multiple descriptors, each are unique, greater than or equal to 0 are assigned to every file, and here you will pass that descriptor to read API at the first parameter, and then you will provide the pointer to the data which you to the variable where you want to store the data in the when you read the bytes from the string file, and this is the number of bytes you want to read. So you can see the parameters, they are all passed by value, um, and yes, of course, here you can see pointers, so it's passed the reference in itself. So it's 32 bits, it's a pointer, it's a file descriptor, and it will return 32-bit number of bytes basically, which being C. So why we are using value, just because we are going to pass the value to the C API. In case if you pass by reference, By not using value, we'll be passing the address, so uh, that's not required here. So you can see first thing is to open the file. So before opening a file, we need to specify the file path, which is this one, and the mode in which you want to read. So I want to open the file in the read only mode. So you can see read only mode is specified here. So I'm passing one. Why I'm passing one here, you can check my opening and creating IFS file video on my channel. Other parameters are optional, as you can see. They are options star no pass, and they're not required here because we are not going to create the file. The file is already created on the IFS and we are going to read that. So if I'll show you, let me show you that. So this is the file which I'm going to open and having some data as well. So I'll be opening that in the read only mode, and it will return me a descriptor, file descriptor. So if that file descriptor is less than 0, which means there is some error in opening that file. So I'll be returning from the program. I'm not going further to read the data from the IFS string file because this descriptor return is less than 0. If it's not less than 0, means it's 0 or greater than 0, then it means that the file is opened successfully, and now we are going to read the bytes from that string file. So we will be passing that file descriptor, which is written from this open API, and the address to the variable which we have defined here, and let's see here, and the size number of bytes which you want to read. So I want to read 500 bytes, so I can see that 500 is here the length of this IFS data, so I'll be passing the size. So basically I'm passing 500 here, so I want to read 500 length of data. Now it will return size which tells me that how much data you have read. So if it's less than 1, it means there is no further record to be read, there is no further bytes to be read. And if it's not less than 1, so there may be chances that return underscore read might be less than this actual number of bytes which you want to read, because the data might not be present there. So in that case, it's end of file condition reach, and we will be returning from the program. So this condition will occur when you will be reading the full file in the loop if that has big data, and you are reading that file in loop in some small portions. So that this condition may occur. So you will have to check for this condition whether it's less than 1 or not. Now let's try to compile this program. Take F4, take 14 and then 4 star none, and debug view is star source. Let's debug this. And debug. API underscore read. It's a star yes, it's a star yes. We will be setting the breakpoint here, and then we'll be calling API underscore read. So that's the IFS path which we are passing here. Open flag is 1, file descriptor is 1. So it means it does not return 0. It means I have already opened that file. So by calling it once earlier, so I'll be showing you it will be returning 1. So it returns 1 for this time with the open. Now we are going to call read one. It returns me 500 bytes. So here you can see we have received the data from the IFS stream file, and it's not less than 1, so it returns from the program. So this way you read the data from the IFS stream file in the form of bytes using the C read API in RPGLE. So that's all in this video. Thank you and have